Hey everyone, welcome to the Literary Lounge. I'm Paige.
And I'm Emily.
And today we are doing our first novella episode on Haunting Adeline. If you've been listening to this podcast a lot, you have probably heard my recommendations on it at the end of the podcast. I finally convinced Emily to read it, so we're going to give a spoiler-free, quick plot summary, who we think would like this book, and just like our overall review of it. So
yeah,
it's going to be a very short episode. All of our novella episodes are going to be nice, short, sweet episodes you can just squeeze in either on your way to work or on a quick walk or something. So
yeah, I'm really excited to do these because it's like fun to review books and like get into the weeds, but like there's going to be times where we talk about books that our listeners haven't read. And you can always come back and read them, or if you're not planning on reading the book, listen along. But it's kind of nice to throw in some suggestions of like books we've read. We can talk about them a little bit, but like we're not ruining it for anybody.
Yeah.
So I think these are going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys will like them. Our drink today, Emily's drink today is Wild State cider. So it's a local brewery from from Duluth, right?
Yeah.
Duluth, Minnesota.
It's a cidery in Duluth. Yeah, they have really good ciders, and I'm trying their limited edition flavor, berry jam, right now. It's very good. I do like a cider. I prefer the one they're like crisp and dry. This one is kind of like an in-between one. It's kind of nice because it still has a little bit of that like apple, like a cider vibe to it, but like it's berry, so a little different. Good for summer. Highly recommend. Great brewery in Duluth. We both grew up near Duluth, so we're always up for promoting some small local businesses in the area.
So. Yeah. All right. Well, should we jump right into it? All right. So Haunting Adeline is about two main characters. They're referred to as the manipulator and is it the hunter? No.
Oh, I don't remember. I just read this book too. The manipulator and is it the stalker or the hunter? Stalker, hunter.
I
left it upstairs.
It's one of those.
Sorry.
No, it's over there. I brought it down.
Oh.
I'm not gonna get up right now.
Yeah, so it like alternates between their point of view. So Adeline is the main character, obviously Haunting Adeline.
Yep.
She lives in this old house that she inherited from her grandma. So it's kind of got creepy vibes going on in the book, because she just lives in this old house. She also like believes in ghosts, and so there's kind of
she loves scary stuff.
Yeah, she's like into it. Like she's like creepy house, perfect. Like loves it. It's kind of got like a dark vibe. It's dark romance. Like the setting is great. She begins receiving like roses and vibes that like somebody's stalking her, like that's getting into her house when she's like sleeping at night, leaving her roses. Scaring her. Like so they call him Z in the beginning. We won't spoil anything about him too much, but it's kind of about their relationship and like how he stalks her, why he's stalking her, kind of his history a little bit about how he works for like this, he leads this organization that is like shutting down sex trafficking operations. So there's just kind of like a lot of dark stuff happening in this book. We should probably like trigger warn a little bit. We're not going to spoil obviously, but like
there's a lot of trigger warnings. There's actually a whole page in the beginning of the book dedicated to like half a page of trigger warnings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can always look it up online. I cannot remember all the trigger warnings. But yeah, obviously look it up to make sure there's nothing in there that's triggering for you. It's very, very dark. It is one of the darkest books I have ever read and probably will ever read. And
it is the darkest book I've read.
Yeah.
I can say that for sure.
And spiciest. If you don't like spicy books, it probably isn't for you. But if you like spicy books, it's a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
On the spice scale.
So there's just like a lot of dark stuff happening in this book. Like he has a very dark career path, like just everything that he's involved in. Like granted, he's like, fighting something that's very horrific, but like the book talks about that, right? So like that's very triggering. And then just the things that happen
There's
with
some
these
non-consensual
characters.
things
Yeah,
that
there's
happen, and
again, like Paige said, like highly recommend that you read the trigger warnings on this book.
Mhm. It's not for everyone.
Yeah. So, definitely a lot of stuff you gotta make sure that you can handle in this book. Who do you think that would read this book and enjoy it?
I think people that obviously like dark, scary like books or movies. Like I really like messed up movies. I don't
Mhm.
know why. Like I'm kind of like Adeline in this, where she just like loves scary stuff, and that's like what
Yeah.
I love. I obviously there's some very heavy content in this book that is like hard to read, but if you're not triggered by that, it's possible to read, I
Yeah.
guess. It's just, again, like check the trigger warnings, but I just think someone who loves like dark romance, just scary stuff, it's a great book to read around the fall time, because the author also loves like scary movies and everything, and she kind of like hints at some scary movies during it, which I liked. She did it very well. But yeah, I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I honestly, this is kind of a harsh way to phrase it, but like if you consider yourself somebody that likes fucked up stuff, then this is the book for you. Like,
Yeah.
and that sounds very crude, but like it's true. Like there is a lot happening in this book that is very uncomfortable and like very fucked up. And like if you're somebody that just doesn't do well with those kinds of things, like you're not gonna like this book. Like,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like a certain type of person is going to be able to read this book. Like we were talking about a little bit before we did this recording, like what kind of movies we like.
Yeah.
Like
if you like Midsummer or like Green Inferno, you'll like this book.
Yeah. Or like I was talking about how like my kind of where I draw the line with fucked up stuff is like I really don't like mutilation.
Yeah.
So like I was telling you haven't seen the movie Overlord, but like in that movie it takes place in like World War II. And it's like these American soldiers come up on like the Germans that are doing experiments on human bodies. And it's like, it's not, this stuff isn't true, but it takes place in a true setting. And it was just really fucked up. Like some of the stuff that they did like to these people in the movie. And it like, that's what really gets me is that kind of stuff, or like Human Centipede, like not my thing. Like I just do, like I can handle gore, slashers, blood, like that's fine. I cannot do like mutilation. This book doesn't really have anything like that. It's not gory or anything. So this type of dark I could handle. Whereas like if people's like arms and legs are being ripped off, that's probably where I would have had to like shut this book.
Yeah.
So there's none of that.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
But there's a lot of different kinds of fucked up things that can happen in books and movies, but
I think like the scariest part of this book is like the shit actually happens in real life. Unlike I mean, mutilation stuff does happen, but like you don't like hear about it really.
Yeah.
But like human trafficking, like that's like what's so scary is like this stuff happens.
Stalking.
Yep, stalking, and I think that's like one of the scariest part of the book because it can happen.
Yeah.
And it does happen. So
yeah, and again, to reiterate what you said earlier, this book is very spicy. Very, very spicy.
Yeah. The first spice scene is one.
It's
different than anything you'll ever read.
It's a lot. Yeah. I was kind of like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I like want to read it to my husband, that part, just to like see what he does. Because I think his reaction would be really funny.
Yeah.
But like this book just like put me through like an emotional roller coaster, and I was like judging myself along the way.
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of like, some of it I was like, this is kind of hot. Like I'm like into this, but
it makes you question your sanity.
Yeah. I'm like, I should not be like chill with this.
Yeah.
Not chill, but like I shouldn't be like interested to read about this. You know, it's just like, it makes you feel like all kinds of ways.
Yeah, I love this author's writing style. Like I really want to try other books that she has read or that she's written. But the author is female, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, like I love her writing style. She keeps you hooked literally like the entire book. Like the beginning of this one is a little slow.
Yeah.
But like the rest of the book, like you cannot put it down. Like
I
as messed up as it is, like it's it's great. Like I literally love this book. I did read the second one. Emily, you haven't read that one yet, but I would say the second book, Haunting Adeline, is way more dark, but it's not as like it's spicy, but there's not as much spice in it. It's more just like dark and messed up. It's way more messed up than the first one.
Just kind of like continuing on with the dark kind of undertones of the first one.
Yeah, and there's a huge cliffhanger at the end.
Yes.
Of the first one, yeah. So, and there is actually a third book that goes into like one of the characters, like a side character in it. It's a very short like novella, but I haven't read that one yet. I have it. I'm excited to read it.
Yeah, I'm super pumped to get into the second one because like I borrowed the first one from you, and so I was kind of like, okay, like calm down, like just wait till you go over to Pages and record and you can grab the second one. So I'm like dying to like get into it because like you said, it ends on a cliffhanger.
You'll like it.
I'm super excited. But I know it's going to be heavy, so I'm also like mentally preparing myself for it. And I just want to say too, like, you know how we were saying we like questioned ourselves on this book? Like, I think it's okay to like this book knowing what's wrong with it, right?
Oh,
like
for sure.
Like just the lack of consent in certain things, you're like, that's so wrong. Like, I think you just, as long as you're like recognizing it. Yeah,
I agree with that. And like, I don't want to like scare you guys into like not reading this book because of like how much we're saying it's messed up. It's more just like warning you. Like,
I just want to prepare people, but like, I did really like this book, and like there are a lot of people out there that love this book, and like
I love this book.
There's listeners I know that will like it, and they're gonna see exactly what we're talking about. But it's just like, I just don't want anybody to go into this book like thinking it's gonna be a light read.
Yeah,
because it's not.
It's not. No. And this, honestly, this series is like one of my favorite series. Like, it's not far behind ACOTAR. So like, and they're like polar opposites. But like I'm like interested now to like read more like dark romances.
Yeah, I mean, we have to do like an episode on one. I mean, these we won't, but there's others out there that we could get into. So what did you rate this book?
5.
You gave it a 5?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
I was like a little nervous to rate it a 5 because didn't want to get like judged, but like I loved it so much.
I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 because the start was a little bit slow. So that was just kind of like one of the flaws I felt was out there, but it wasn't too big of a thing. And I think just because there's books that I've loved more that I've given 5s to that I just like couldn't quite get there with it, but like I still loved it. Like, I totally recommend this book to the right person, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I'm excited to get into the second one, and I'll let you guys know, spoiler free, what I think, and our next episode I'll have it done by then. So
yeah, if you guys have read this book, like let us know in like our YouTube comments what you thought about it, and or if you plan on reading it.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, we would love to hear your thoughts. So that's the end of our first novella episode. As you know, novellas are short and sweet, and that's exactly what this was. So next week we are going to be starting our next fantasy series. We are getting into the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. The first book is called Guild.
They all start with a G.
I'm like
Guild,
I'm like
Gleam,
80% sure that that's the name of the title. It's the first book in that series. Really, really excited to just like dive into another like awesome fantasy. I mean, so many people love these books that loved like ACOTAR and Jennifer Armentrout books, all those sorts of things. So I'm just like looking for that, you know. I'm ready to get into it this summer.
Let's hope it's not another Folk of the Year, but
please God, no. I can't do that again. I did hear that the first one is kind of slow and then the other ones are a lot better. So we just got pushed through.
Hopefully it ends up being fast-paced enough where I'll want to push through.
Right. Yeah. But. So anyway, thanks for joining. If you like this episode or past episodes, please leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review or a comment on YouTube. Subscribe if you want to listen to our future and past episodes. It really makes a huge difference to us when people are supporting and letting us know what they think. So if you can, please give us a thumbs up. And we will see you next Wednesday in the lounge.
See ya.
Bye.